You already know who it is. Back another week.
Mm-hmm.
It's Bruh Migos podcast.
Whichever block I'm in. Boom.
Exactly. We back again this week. NFL edition episode. We gotta crack y'all over the head. And you know it. You know how we come in. You already know how everything is. We got to give you guys our picks for, the playoffs, our award predictions, and we got a couple other things that we are going to discuss with y'all. All right here, Bro Amigos Podcast. Grab a drink, sit down. Coming right back at you after this.
Let's play that music.
Bruh.
Now, Rob.
What up, Bill?
Right off the bat.
Let's get it.
Since it's the NFL episode,
mm-hmm.
we're going to jump straight to business.
Business on it.
Off rip, we're going to give y'all our playoff team predictions right at the beginning. Right now, Rob.
What up, though?
NFC.
All right.
Who you got?
So, NFC, as y'all know, it is very nice. Nice FC, whatever. I know. So, for the NFC, we got our playoff predictions. Here are my teams that I am predicting to basically make the playoffs. So first up is a team that comes up a lot on this show. Somebody really doesn't like them, like the fans, like, what they're doing with their lives. I fuck with y'all. I fuck with everything that y'all do because y'all help me have things to talk about on this episode. So the Dallas Cowboys, I think they are going to absolutely make the playoffs. They're going to win the East. I have them winning the East because of how much talent that they still have with Dak and CD. Even though they're bringing back Zeke, the corpse of Zeke, but they brought in Dalvin Cook, who I think might surprise some people, or is actually going to flame out again with another team. But either way, I think that they have a good amount of talent on their roster. Defense is still going to be pretty stout. I believe in them. Shoot, they're going to have Trayvon Diggs coming back. I just thought about that. But they're going to have a lot of talent on that team, and I think that they're going to win the East. The number two team I got coming into playoffs in the NFC, I have the Detroit Lions. I have them winning the NFC North once again. I think they won it last year. Either them or the Packers. I think it was them. But yeah, I got the Lions basically winning. They brought back most of their team. They still got Goff there. They brought back Ben Johnson, who was their offensive coordinator. He did not go get another job. Bad for us, good for them. But no, the team is gonna come back stellar. I don't think they added a little bit with Terrion Arnold from Alabama, but I mean that team is still gonna be good, still gonna be pretty stout. That offensive line is still gonna be there. That defense, they're gonna be back better than ever. They're gonna be a team to watch out for. Very much stout team that I'm gonna enjoy watching, even though I'm a Vikings fan. Number 3. This team might shock you, or this one I would say is probably going to shock a lot of the people that watch this show. The Atlanta Falcons. I have you winning the NFC South. I have you as a playoff team that basically is going to beat the rest of those teams in that sorry ass division. And I mean, granted, that division is going to be sorry, but I don't think it's going to be bad sorry. I think it's going to be pretty competitively sorry because I mean, the Panthers are going to be back at least a little bit better. Now they got Xavier Leggett. Bryce going to be back another year. He might actually show something a little bit more than what he did in year one, especially with, Adam Thielen coming back as well. Defense is going to be nice for the Panthers as well. Saints, we'll see. I'll just keep it at that. Still going to have Chris Olave. I don't know what they're going to get out of Derek Carr. I have no clue. Spencer Rattler's probably going to be starting week 4. That's a prediction. That's a prediction. But yeah, the rest of that division, Tampa Bay, I honestly don't know what's going to come out of them. I know they've gotten Jalen McMillan, who I think is going to be really nice for them, but I just don't know about the rest of that team. I really don't. But so that's why I'm going with the Falcons. They just added Matthew Judon. They added Michael Penix in the offseason. I don't know when he's going to play in the season. Kirk Cousins is going to be coming back for them. Drake London is going to be a stellar receiver. Might win like some kind of award, this year. Whether it's offensive player of the year or maybe like comeback player of the year or something. You're going to have Bijan coming back for another year. Like that team is actually going to be pretty talented. Now that Arthur Smith is out of there, we'll see if actually the lost soul that is Kyle Pitts actually starts looking like something. We're in the National Football League. So we'll see. We'll see what actually happens with them. But I do believe in you guys, Falcons, even though the city of Atlanta and most of the world don't. The 49ers is my NFC West predicted champion. So I think you guys are going to be a stout team. You actually did sign Brandon Ayuk. Now, whether that becomes a trade in the future, we'll see. But y'all did sign him. Y'all are going to be basically bringing back a stout offense. Hopefully, y'all get Trent Williams, signed into his money. Excuse me. So brought back Brock Purdy. Still gonna have a lot of great talent on that team. Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, so many guys on that team. I think you guys are gonna be having some success. So I believe in y'all. Now for the wild cards. So the first wild card, those Fly Philadelphia Eagles. So good of a team. I think y'all gonna be neck and neck in the NFC East, but I had Cowboys basically winning it all. I just got so much talent. I added Saquon to an offense that already had AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Still got Jalen Hurts. Still got Dallas Goedert. Still got a really nice line, even though Jason Kelce has retired. That defense, you're still gonna have Jalen Carter, who it could be up for Defensive Player of the Year because of how well he is. I love Jalen Carter. He is one of the best defensive tackles, and probably is going to be one of the best defensive tackles in the league now that Aaron Donald's gone. But yeah, y'all still gonna have Nolan Smith. Y'all just had it Quentin Mitchell. I think y'all gonna have a nice ass team, but just not as nice to win the NFC North. It's NFC East. The next team. Might shock some other people. It seems like there's a better theme in here because I got the Arizona Cardinals basically winning the second wildcard position. I think they're going to be really good at adding MHJ. He is a great player. I would say the best player in the draft this year. MHJ is a stellar receiver, and I think it's going to add to that lineup. Especially when you got, Michael Wilson, Mac Wilson, excuse me. You got Kyler Murray, you got James Conner. Gonna have a nice defense, but we'll see what exactly happens with them. Jonathan Gannon's gonna be coming back for another year. Basically, yeah, I think you guys are gonna be much better than you were last year. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But then the last one. My Minnesota Vikings is going to be that last playoff team getting in. So much talent. I don't give a damn what y'all say about Sam Darnold. He is my quarterback, and I will defend that man to the front of the earth, at least. I say this is the best team that Sam Darnold has had throughout his tenure. So that is going to mean something. He has all-pro receiver in Justin Jefferson. He got Jordan Addison. TJ Hawkinson is going to be coming back soon. We just got Aaron Jones. The line. We just signed Christian Darrisaw. Still got Brian O'Neill on the other side. That line is still going to be pretty nice. It's going to be the most talent he's had. Defense. We just got Stephon Gilmore. We got Dallas Turner. We got so many players. Just Jonathan Grenard. Quincy, I don't owe you too much of an apology yet. I think you did a great job as far as making sure that most of the holes that we had within that team were filled up with talent. So I say they're going to be that last playoff team getting in, and that I will stick to that shit right now. So Who you got for the NFC, bro? Let's round it out and let's commiserate on what we got here.
Where we have some similarities at, okay, is definitely with the Cowboys, the Lions, the Eagles, and the Cardinals. Okay. Where we start to differ is, okay, you picking your Vikings, which I can understand.
Absolutely.
Okay. I can understand that. The like I said, the Niners are we both have the Niners also. Okay. Where I see differently is I see Jordan Love come into play, okay, and the Packers making it, okay.
That's fair.
And I also see, because oh my God, it is so trash. It is so trash. Just down in the good old NFC South, I see Tampa Bay winning.
I can see that. That's fair.
I see now. As much as I do want to believe in Atlanta right now, and I do want to say, hey, Atlanta, you're looking good. You picked up Rob's throwaways from the Vikings, and you got him a young team around him. I don't have that much faith in him.
That's fair.
I feel like he's gonna swag and he's gonna have some chains and whatnot. He may do better. Kirk Cousins may do better than what I expect. But do I think that he's going to be better than any other version of Kirk Cousins that I've seen? No.
That's fair.
Okay. So I don't see them making it. That team is young. I think that team is going to thrive whenever they go to the quarterback that they drafted. Okay.
I agree with you.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say with that. I feel like whenever they go to the quarterback that they drafted, we gonna say, man, they're nice. They're very nice. Okay. Because we're all acting like we didn't just come out here and see how this went down, right? Okay. So we didn't just see Kirk Cousins come back and them also say, hey, we're going to draft Michael Penix Jr. Okay? Because if I'm Kirk Cousins, the first thing I would have said was, hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Cousins way too nice for that, though. He's going to go, oh, gosh.
He is.
Oh, gosh, golly. They didn't.
He is.
Oh, okay. Hey, things happen. And we just have to, when the trials and tribulations of our lives come before us, we have to march on like the good soldiers that we are under this great God. And he's gonna say all that kind of stuff, and he ain't gonna say a goddamn thing. It's gonna be untoward.
And guess what? He know, like I know, that they waiting for him to fail or be used for somebody to take, so they can take him and he can go somewhere else. Okay. Which is fine.
Yeah, got a lot of money.
It's fine, because he could go, to be honest with you, if this is how I see it could work out for him, if Dak decides to hit free agency, if he doesn't get a contract, he could definitely land in Oakland if they don't want him in Atlanta anymore.
Yeah.
He has places he can go. Jimmy Garoppolo is his competition out there, okay? I'm going to just throw that out there. Jimmy Garoppolo is his competition out there.
Basically. Next to nothing.
He can win.
Next to nothing.
He can win that out there. He can win that out there. But it's also, like I said, I see the Bucs in there. I just don't see Atlanta making it. I don't see your Vikings making it. And like we both said, it's something about the Cardinals. It's something about the Cardinals saying that they're gonna make the playoffs. I think because they're healthy now.
Yeah.
They got Marvin Harrison Jr., who's probably the best. If we want to come out and say he's probably the best player in the draft that came out of the draft, because we know what he is. We know exactly what he is.
Yeah.
He's everything that his dad was. He's NFL ready.
Whoever his dad may be. Absolutely a stellar individual, that man.
Yeah. And if I must say a stellar individual who played with another stellar individual named Peyton Manning, just gonna throw that one out there.
Whatever that may be as well, just to keep it consistent.
Yeah, but I feel like that's where we're going in the NFC. Now, this is the one that some people may already know, or they may already have a good idea of who we shall pick. But I feel like if you're anybody who knows anything about football and you know the divisions, that this should be pretty easy, because we kind of almost have a very similar list again with who we're picking for the AFC. But I'll let you go ahead and give your AFC playoff picks, Rob.
Bromigos very much are great minds that think alike. Very much so.
Very much.
So I'm gonna start off with the easy one, the very easy one. The two-time defending champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. They're gonna make the playoffs. That's just an absolute guarantee. And granted, this feels like a jinx. It just feels just like a jinx, but nah. Like they added Xavier Worthy, who very much speedster. They added Hollywood Brown as well, who was a speedster with hands you can't just rely on. But I think you could probably rely on Xavier Worthies. But they added 2 speedsters in the offseason to go along with Rashee Rice, to go along with Travis Kelce, to go along with Isaiah Pacheco. Like, they are going to still have that line that, was pretty well with Mahomes. Like, and that defense it doesn't really have much lag on it. Yeah, they lost L'Jarius Sneed, but they still got Trent McDuffie, still got, Chris Jones coming up the middle. They're still going to be good. And so, like, I can't see them not winning the AFC West, excuse me. So yeah, that's one that I'm like, yeah, that's the easy one. The next one, pretty easy as well. The Baltimore Ravens, still got the reigning defending undisputed MVP in Lamar Jackson. You still got Zay Flowers, so that offense is still going to be humming with him. They added another guy that I believe in, and I might be thinking too much into it, but Devontae Walker, out of UNC, the rookie. I think he's going to be somebody that pays dividends, going to basically come out and show a lot for this team, and especially like he might be wide receiver 2 by the end of this year. I think he's a very much talented individual, one of the people that got Drake May drafted essentially. So like, yeah, somebody like that coming to this team, I think is going to be paying dividends, especially with Mark Andrews still being there. Adding Derrick Henry also, which these motherfuckers might be running speed options like 30 times a game or some shit. Like, we don't know what the fuck is going to happen when it comes to Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry basically doing that shit. To go along with that defense, still got Roquan Smith, Marlon Humphrey. That team is going to be absolutely stellar. So the next one, a team that I think is straight up and down talented, the Houston Texans. Absolutely could be a Super Bowl contender for the AFC. CJ Stroud coming to another year, absolutely looked phenomenal in his first year. Will Anderson, Stephon Diggs, going to bring back Tank Dell coming back from injury. Still got Nico Collins. Added Joe Mixon, who's I think going to be a great running back and a great upgrade from what they had in the backfield last year. Still got a great defense. They just added Danielle Hunter, which is kind of weird because basically the Vikings and the Texans just traded, all defensive ends. So like, it's kind of weird. Still gonna have Derek Stingley Jr. Like, you're gonna have a great defense. Jalen Petrie. Still gonna have a great team over there at Houston, man. Like, they're gonna be fun to watch. Absolutely fun to watch, especially with DeMeco Ryans coming back for another year. Yeah, absolutely fun to watch. Next up, Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins number 1. Just got Tua his money. Gonna have Tyreek Hill. Jalen Waddle got his money too. But yeah, they're gonna be having a talented team. Jalen Phillips coming back from his Achilles injury. It's gonna be nice coming off the edge. Gonna have Bradley Chubb back another year. Jalen Ramsey as well. Like, that team is gonna be really good, especially with A-Chain and Mostert, that two-headed monster as far as coming out the backfield. Like, A-Chain was, I think, running like that motherfucker averaged like 200 yards a game. So it felt like,
yeah. So Yeah,
Like,
it did feel like that.
but yeah, like that team is going to be absolutely speed steer, especially for, a city like Miami that, has its, ways of having people move fast. Like those people basically emblemize the city in so many ways than one, fast and loose, and so that's going to be pretty dope, to see that. Next up for the wild card teams, I got the Day Bengals, basically winning one of the wild card positions. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T Higgins. I think they're gonna have a stellar year this year. It's gonna be interesting to see how well T Higgins and Jamar Chase play, especially with them wanting to get their money. But yeah, no, that team is still gonna be good. Yeah, they lost Joe Mixon, but they added in Mike Gesicki, who I think is going to be a sleeper pick for that team as well. But yeah, they're going to have talent up and down the board. Can't wait to see how they go. So, Steelers are going to be the next team. Stout. The only thing they have problems with is their QB situation. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, they're going to have a lot of talent on that offense. When you got George Pickens, you're still going to have just some players like Najee Harris coming back. Still got Freiermuth. They're gonna be good. Rowan Wilson, was who they picked up in the draft this year. They're gonna have a nice team, especially they just added Patrick Queen. Still gonna have T.J. Watt. Yeah, they're gonna be really good this year. I can't wait to see how they go and see how that quarterback situation goes. The last team, and this is a team that probably is going to shock everybody because everybody's been down on a lot of the cats that's on this team. But in the last playoff position for the AFC, I have those bucking Broncos from Denver. I have the Denver Broncos making the playoffs this year. Yes, with Bo Nix as quarterback. I think Bo Nix is going to show out this year and surprise a lot of people. Especially with Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims. I think they're going to have a nice enough team to at least make the playoffs. I don't know how far they go, but I think that they'll have enough talent to basically make the playoffs and make it pretty comfortably. Because you got the Colts that's out there that's going to be coming back with Anthony Richardson and Donnie Mitchell. You're going to have the Patriots. I think is going to be nicer than what people think. I think they're going to probably win more than about 7 games this year. And basically under Gerard Mayo have a much better team than what they had before. But I think that the Broncos are going to be that team that wins the last playoff position. I don't see the Jets making the playoffs. I don't see those other teams making the playoffs. But I have the Broncos basically making it in. Sean Payton getting some level of vindication. But yeah, I have those. So who you got as your AFC teams?
Okay. Now, again, we have some similarities.
So
You gotta go. You gotta go with the Chiefs.
Right.
You gotta go Ravens.
Right.
Texans.
Right.
Bengals.
Right.
Dolphins.
Right.
Okay. Where we start to stray. Okay.
A little bit.
Because we 5 out of 7, for each other.
Mm-hmm.
But here's where we stray. I'm picking the Jets.
Yep.
Okay. And I feel like old Mr. A-Rod, Aaron Rodgers is gonna come out here. And despite him not doing the right thing during COVID, I think he's going to be healthy and go ahead and get the Jets to the playoffs. I think this is going to be probably his last hurrah, pushing the team to the playoffs. I don't see him maybe one more year possibly, but I don't think he has much more left in the tank.
Nah.
I do think that the Jets have enough to get it done. Okay. And I think he's going to push them and they're going to be there. The other one, not many people will probably agree with this one, but I'm going to go ahead and pick the Browns, okay? The Browns still have a really good defense, okay? Really good defense. Deshaun Watson is going to come back healthy, okay? Hopefully he's in the right mindset, and he comes in and he figures out how to win games, okay? I feel like he can do that for them. I feel like he can definitely come in. They can figure out how to win games, and they can get through this and make the playoffs. Once they get to the playoffs, don't know what they're going to do. but I feel like they can definitely make the playoffs. The reason I'm not going with your pick of the Steelers and the Broncos at the end, one, I just feel that that carousel is going to be so chaotic in Pittsburgh that this is going to be one of those one seasons. This is going to be that one season where they're going to tell Mike Tomlin, if this shit don't work out, we can't fire you because you've given us so much positive. You definitely deserve a mulligan right here. Okay?
Yeah.
Quarterback wise. And the reason I can't pick the Broncos is because I do kind of want Sean Payton to fall flat on his face.
just a little bit.
Just on his face. That's it. Because
That's
I feel
fair.
like if he would have worked things out differently with Russ and didn't do what he did, I feel like that could have been a different scenario that played out for him instead of coming in there trying to run the team. Just kind of want to see him just a little bit fall on his face, and then I'll be like, all right, get back up now. Now we can continue on to do the right thing. Okay, that's why I have those guys picked. Because come on now, you got to say the Dolphins are a gimme. You got to have the Bengals in there because the Bengals are hungry, okay? They know that they weren't there last year, okay? And they know that their biggest adversary is the guy, Patrick goddamn Mahomes, okay? And he's already having fun. The man's out there throwing behind the back passes in preseason, okay?
A nice one, too.
And you, a nice one at it. So you have to pick certain people. I always think the Ravens are going to be there because I can't not have the Ravens in there. Lamar Jackson, two-time MVP. He has Derrick Henry now. He's looking very, very, very good. Okay? It's just that simple. And the Texans in C.J. Stroud, I just have so much high hopes for him. It's ridiculous. I have a ridiculous amount of hope for how good he can be. And it's not just talented on the field. It's whenever he talks football too with other football players and he breaks stuff down. That's why I'm really invested in them making the playoffs again. So I'm with the Texans a million times over. Okay. So those were all gimmies to me. But like I said, the difference, Browns, I just feel like they could pull it off. I just feel like they could pull it off. And I feel like this is gonna be Aaron Rodgers' last ride, like the Ghost Rider, brother. The one that precedes me. I got one more left in me.
Right. One more.
And I feel like he's gonna make one more ride. I feel like he's gonna make that push to the playoffs, and then we don't know what might happen from them. It's all up in there at that point. But I definitely have him at least playing at least 10 or 12 games versus 10 or 12 drives. Just throw that out there. Because last time he ain't had 10 or 12 drives for the season, he had like one, and it was to the side. But you know, it can happen to the best of us. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will wrap up our playoff predictions, right? That we had to get that right out of the way. Next, we're going to go to awards. Award predictions. Now, I don't know if you remember last year, me and Rob called the offensive and defensive rookie of the year.
Yep.
Y'all ain't believe us.
Didn't want to hurt us.
Didn't want to hear us, Ron. Didn't want to hear. Now this year we're divided on our picks, at least on some of our award picks. Okay.
Yep.
So Rob, I'm gonna let you go ahead and start off with your picks. I'm gonna let you go through your whole list, and then I'm gonna go through mine. So go ahead and kick it off, starting with your offensive rookie of the year.
All right. So offensive rookie of the year, we actually just talked about this gentleman, MHJ. MHJ, I think that he's going to basically do well with the Cardinals. I think he's going to not revolutionize. I think he's going to revitalize that offense. Like, he's a stellar talent, and he absolutely was the best talent in the draft. And as y'all probably remember, I was basically telling y'all that he probably should have went number one. I would have basically took him number one with the Bears, and then took the number 9 pick and took quarterback, whether it was McCarthy or whatever. Just because his top end talent was just so much better than those quarterbacks and how good that they were. And so I think that he's going to be stellar with this team, and I think he's going to basically put more life into Kyler Murray and basically make that offense hum. so much more than it had been in the last few years. The defensive rookie of the year, Dallas effing Turner from my Minnesota Vikings. I think that he's going to be an absolutely stellar player. I've heard comps, and not saying that this is true or not, but I've heard comps to Micah Parsons. I've heard comps to like other great pass rushers. I heard that he's going to be something that is going to be special, especially with that Brian Flores offense, especially on the other side of Jonathan Grenard. Like, I think that he's going to have so much talent and so much, room to basically be the stellar player that he is. I'm thinking he's going to win D-Roy. All right. Which, yeah, it's going to be great. Offensive player of the year. I have so many Jalen's in this world. Jalen Hurts from the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that with that offense, especially with adding Saquon and AJ Brown and all those different pieces, I think that he's going to basically win offensive player of the year. I think that team is going to go a lot of places, and I think he's going to be captaining that ship in doing that. Probably still have the tush push going now, even though Jason Kelsey is gone, but we'll see how that goes. Depoy, I got the demon, Micah Parsons. Like, I think he's going to win that award. I think he's going to be great within that defense, especially because that man is trying to make his money, and so he's going to show why Jerry needs to pay him, why somebody needs to pay him, because that man is a fucking beast. And I think he's going to show it this year, actually winning the award that he almost won as a rookie, which is still crazy to think about. But nah, I got Micah Parsons as the defensive player of the year. And then the MVP, drum roll, please. Jared Burrow from your Cincinnati Bengals. I got him as the MVP. Like we said before, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins looking for their money. He's going to basically go out to them. I think that the Bengals are going to be really good this year, even though I don't have them win the North. I think he's going to be really good, and I think he's going to have that offense really clicking, especially because of how much talent they have there. I think that he's going to win that MVP award. Of course, it could be Patrick Mahomes, it could be Lamar Jackson, could be CJ Stroud, but right now I got it as Joe effing Burrow, Mr. Cool, the dude that's the dude. Man, I got him as the MVP. So, who you guys
Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow. Who you guys as your award winners?
Okay, so we do have some of the same picks in some categories, but starting off offensive rookie of the year, I'm going Jaden Daniels from LSU. I think that he's going to show off in Washington's offense this year. I feel like he's going to give that team a jump start. I feel like they're going to win 8-9 games. He's going to be super productive with his legs and with his arm, and he's going to show you that Washington is trying to make a comeback, okay? I just feel that he feels he's better than Caleb Williams, is what I feel like he feels. And I feel like he also knows that Caleb Williams has been given a spotlight because of him coming from UFC and being so highly touted and ending up as the Bears pick. I feel like Jaden Daniels is going to say, you know what, motherfucker, you ain't winning no offensive rookie of the year around here. I'm going to show you what the fuck I'm about over here in Washington. Hands down, that's my offensive rookie of the year. Defensive rookie of the year, I will go with your man Dallas Turner from the Vikings.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I also believe the reason why he will be defensive rookie of the year is because he's going to get to spend a lot of time on the field. Because he's going to have to help bail out Sam Darnold.
Oh my gosh.
If the Vikings even have a chance of making it to the playoffs. Okay?
Shot to the heart, and you're to blame, Nate. God damn.
I'm just saying. Look, somebody's gonna have to bail this man out, okay? Look, I've met rolls of toilet paper that are stronger than Sam Darnold, okay? His body cannot keep up sometimes, okay? It ain't his arm. It's his reliability, okay? As much as it is what it is, okay? But I feel like somebody's gonna have to help bail y'all out if y'all gonna have a chance at this, okay? Because I rank Sam Darnold below where y'all were with Kirk Cousins, okay?
That bad?
I don't believe in I can't believe in him. Sam Darnold is like the best way to put it, and people at home don't take this the wrong way if you're a Vikings fan like Rob. Look, Sam Darnold is like getting extra shit in your bag at McDonald's. I wasn't expecting this, but it is here. But sometimes that extra shit ain't shit that you really fuck with. It might be some random shit. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. So now you know you kind of dealing.
He's a chicken nugget in our fries.
Yeah, man, he's the chicken nugget in the fries, bro. Because you don't know exactly what you're going to get from Sam Darnold, bro.
Okay.
And as much as I want him to kind of be good for y'all, it's just how I look at him, all right?
Mm-hmm.
I look at him. 7 years in the league, right? 7 years in the league.
Yeah.
What has he done that has been, I'm going to say, relatively good, okay? This is somebody who hasn't had a season over 3,000 yards. Ever.
Right. What?
Okay.
Go ahead.
And he hasn't had, I know that you might say he hasn't had a talent like Justin Jefferson. Okay. I still don't see him do it. Okay. I still don't see it. I just don't.
I understand that. And I mean, granted, because I said that, like, he basically hasn't had a team around him as talented as this one. Granted, he was on the 2023 San Francisco 49ers, and the numbers he put up while being there, while having Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel, weren't really that great. Like, he only started one game. He just did not play all that well. Basically, he went 297
job to Brock Purdy.
So did a lot of people. But I still believe in that man. I still think that this team is much better and much more equipped. Now that he has 7 years. He had Jets time and Carolina Panthers time. I think that this is the time that he's actually going to show out and basically put the number three overall position that he basically was drafted at. Now he's going to show you that. Now he's 27. So he still hasn't even hit the prime of his life. You know, he's going to have all-pro Justin Jefferson. He's soon going to have TJ Hockenson whenever he comes back from that torn ACL. Like, he's going to have a very stout team that he's going to be able to play with, along with a defense that's going to be able to go get him the ball and give him more opportunities to basically go show out. You know, like, I think this is going to show something to the world, to you, Nate, to everybody that's a naysayer of Samuel, what's his middle name? Richard Darnold. All right. He's going to basically show that basically he is one of the quarterbacks in the league. All right. That's what he's going to be able to show. And while JJ McCarthy is recovering from his torn meniscus, he's going to show the world that this is a guy that can be your starting quarterback.
If you got 10 chain links and 9 of them is rated for 1,000 pounds and 1 of them is rated for 500, that's the weak one. That's all I'm gonna leave it at. Moving on. Offensive player of the year, Jalen Hurts. They have juiced that team to give him every possibility of throwing for like 4,000 plus yards.
Yeah, at least maybe 5.
They have juiced your team, Jalen. Do not disappoint us. You have the chance to throw for 4,000 plus yards right now. I don't think that you've even had a 4,000 plus yard season. I think you hover somewhere around 35. I'm gonna go ahead and double check that while we sitting here.
Yeah, I got you.
This is your chance right now to say, hey, I can really use my arm and I don't have to run and I'm not going to struggle. Because if people getting releases, the closest you've been is 3,800 last year. You were close. You were knocking on the door of 4,000.
Yep.
You should eclipse 4,000 this year. Okay. If Geno is throwing for 4,000 and he has DK Metcalf in some places, you have a better wide receiving core and offense in general than what he has. Okay. So if he threw for 4,000 last year, I need to at least see 4,200 from you. Okay. At least 4,200. They're juicing you to help you become the offensive player of the year. And are you going to have a 5,000 yard season? I don't know if you're going to do all that, but I think that they're definitely setting you up to be in the offensive player of the year just category. Because somebody might come out there and throw for 5,000. You know, there's a dude in Kansas City who might, give you an objection. But I think he wants something bigger and better than that offensive player of the year. Defensive player of the year, Michael Parsons, dog, animal. He's a complete beast. He is everything on that defensive line that Dallas needs. Dallas, do not give him no offensive snaps. Let him go hunt the quarterback. Okay, I know what he wants, but what you need to do is not do that for him. Okay, don't do that. Look at me. Don't do that. Just let him go hunt quarterbacks, okay? Matter of fact, you might need to kind of brainwash him a little bit and get all of that offensive shit about his head. Tell him, look, you want that money? You're going to go hunt down quarterbacks for me, okay? And that's it. Okay? Now, MVP, Patrick LeVon Mahomes, okay? That's who I got getting this.
That's a fair one.
Why? Because Lamar Jackson got this last year, and Patrick said, I got the Super Bowl, though. Okay? And I feel like Patrick is going to come out here this year and say, you know what? I want the MVP, and I want a shot at the goddamn Super Bowl, which I think the Chiefs are in a really good spot to do this. If they go back to back to back, and he wins MVP, he does have a way more speedy target. He has a couple more speedy targets now. I think Pat is probably going to be close to 5,000 yards.
Oh, at least.
Okay.
At least.
I clearly see him being close to 5,000 yards because now you have two guys who can take the top off of the defense, and Travis Kelce can catch everything under. Okay. So it's back to a similar dynamic that he had with Tyreek Hill. Okay, now it's just he got two speedsters and he got Travis. So now you got to pick your poison on offense. Okay, and like you said, Pacheco's coming back to help run the ball. They got a lot of options. Okay, they have a lot of options.
Like Patrick Mahomes threw for 5,200 yards in 2022. You know who his second leading receiver was?
Who?
Juju.
There you go.
Like, and then Marquez Valdez-Scantling, then Jerick McKinnon, and then Justin Watson. So he has more talent, and he threw 5,000 yards with less. Motherfucker might throw for 6.
He might go for the gusto this year, okay? And Andy Reid is going to give him the green light because he's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, he's well earned it.
He was just throwing it behind. He threw one behind the back. So if Andy's letting him have fun, Andy is gonna say, "Hey man, I'm about to scheme this shit up, and we about to go crazy this year." They might average 30 or 35 this year if they get pumping.
Yep.
They might make it hell for your defense, and I think that them bringing hell with offense is going to be Patrick Mahomes MVP.
Yep.
Okay. Easy work. Easy work.
Very, very.
Can't see it any other way. Nah, I know you picked Joe Burrow, but Joe, I don't know if you as cold as that man over there in Kansas City.
I don't think anybody is, dog. To be honest with you, I honestly don't think anybody in this world got that man any kind of beat. Like he is the dude right now. I don't know. There's nothing you could really say against it. He's done it every kind of way. Had the high ankle sprain in the Super Bowl. Dog, he's just that dude.
Went out there, got it done. And that, you guys, that's our predictions, our award predictions this year for the NFL. Yep. Now, as we move on, okay, it's a couple teams who looking kind of shaky. And one of them, Rob actually picked to make the playoffs, and we're about to discuss that team. That's the goddamn Pittsburgh Steelers, okay? Pittsburgh. In my opinion, this can either go really good for y'all or it can go really bad. Okay? I do not see, and this is just me, I don't see Justin Fields being the entire, I'm going to say, solution to their problem. And part of the issue with them is this. You got a veteran QB who kind of wants to throw from the pocket, and he can't. The offensive line is crap. I don't know where it just went kaput. Okay. And yes, Justin Fields is a better option for him to run with the ball and make plays. But what are the Steelers like? How do you see this playing out for the Steelers quarterback wise, though, Rob?
Like, to your point, yeah, like the way that the offensive line is so shit, that might be more conducive to Russell Wilson and his, basically time with the Seahawks with dealing with a shit line and just kind of improvising, playing out the pocket. I think it's going, like I said, I got them making the playoffs, so I think it's going to turn out fine because of the offensive talent they have. But to your point, it is something to keep an eye on because, like, when they evaluate how effective each quarterback is, they're gonna have to make a decision after this year. Like, both teams or both players are essentially on 1-year deals. So if you basically are like, hey, Justin Fields is going to be the future that we're going to rely on, then you can basically go ahead and do that and let Russ walk. Or if you basically like, hey, no, Russell Wilson still has money in the bank, or actually still has money in the bank because I think he's still getting paid by the Broncos. He's still going to have a good amount of years left in him to be a more than competent quarterback with that team. I think if you're going to go ahead and do that, then you can. Like, you have, like, they are in a good driving position, but not a great driving position because there's two quarterbacks that still have question marks. They had the graphic of both of them hold the ball longer than any other quarterback. They both had a ton of turnovers as well. So it's not as if like these quarterbacks are steady beats that you could gotta go on. I know with Russ, at least he had more time, or he had more better times with the Broncos, especially towards the end of that tenure. But it's still to where you don't know how long that's gonna last. But at least with Justin Fields, you have a kid that basically a kid that's going to be going after that's still technically on his rookie deal. Like, you got something that you can look long towards with a higher ceiling than what Russell Wilson has. So, I mean, they're in a great position, but overall, I think it's going to be Russ. I think what happens is Russ is basically going to be the starting quarterback for this year. Russ is probably going to be the starting quarterback next year. Russ is probably going to be the starting quarterback in perpetuity until basically they go draft somebody else. I don't see them relying on Justin Fields. I don't know if Justin Fields is going to get enough time. And I don't know how long Tomlin's going to really have. Like, Tomlin has been coaching this team for what? Damn near 20 years now? No, not 20 years.
What was it, 19, 20 years? He's up there, 18, 19 years.
Yeah, because whenever the year that they won the Super Bowl with Cowher, basically he's been there in there since then. So I don't know how long he's basically going to be the coach of this team. So if somebody else comes in and says, hey, no, Justin Fields is not my dude, not somebody I want to rely on long term, then that's going to be it.
He's been 16 years for the Steelers.
Yeah, so 16 years. So, I mean, I guess he still got a little bit of time. But still, I think Russ is going to be that quarterback because it seemed like he's gotten the job and it seems like they believe in him a little bit more. But, yeah, I think they're, like I said, they're in a good driving position. It's just that it's one that with who they have, it's not a top end, kind of guy, but it's some folks that they can basically rely on, at least to an extent.
Yeah, and maybe if he gets it done, if Russ comes in there and Russ gets it done, I don't know how well he gets it done for them. That's why I'm hesitant on picking them for the playoffs, because I don't know where this is gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved it. I do believe that they could possibly make the playoffs, okay? But in my heart right now, I have to pick teams like the Browns and the Jets above them, just because I think Aaron Rodgers at least got one more in him. And I think that if the Browns are going to figure it out, it's this year, and it's going to be now. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So those are the two reasons why I just ruled out Pittsburgh. I can't see you guys with this type of quarterback fiasco going on not figuring this out now.
Mm-hmm.
And whether or not a lot of Steeler fans may agree or disagree, because I know that there's some delusional Steelers fans. Well, like, oh yeah, we in there. Which, yeah, you did make it with Kenny Pickett, but the offensive line is so shit right now.
Yeah.
It's so shit right now. It's like, what are you going to do? Is the defense going to go out here and make this happen, and they're going to be able to manage, I don't know, 20 points a game, maybe, to win?
Yeah. With that defense,
like you at least need. Yeah, I feel like in the NFL, I feel like you at least need to be able to get about 23, 24 points a game.
Yeah.
Okay. To win games. And do we have that between them? I don't know. That's not. Look. That's not a decent line with Patrick Mahomes behind it, and you asking me if he can go get you 23 points. I'd be like, fucking right, he can go get you 23 points. This is Russell Wilson, who's age, and this is Justin Fields, who did not have a good showing in his time in Chicago at all, okay? Did not have a good showing. And this is the guy that, if Russ, let's say Russ did good, okay? Let's say Russ decides, you know what? I don't want to be here, and I'm going to take my talents to maybe Vegas, okay? And Vegas gives him a shot. And let's say Russ has a really good year, and Russ leaves there. Russ throws for close to 4,000 or something like that, and they do make the playoffs, and they're kind of close. And then Russ decides, I don't want to be here, okay? And let's say he decides to go to Vegas. Are you going to then entrust yourself with Justin Fields out there? Because if you do and it don't work out, you know what he did in Chicago. You already know what he did in Chicago, and it wasn't pretty.
Yep.
And I know Bears fans are ecstatic about Caleb Williams, right? They are loving it, which y'all still don't have an offensive line either. So, but you do have a guy who can throw the ball. He can definitely throw the ball. I can't lie about it. But now we just got to see how this works out. So, I don't know. This is going to be a sticky situation over there for the Steelers. Now, moving on. How well do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to do this season?
Like, not jokingly or jokingly?
Both of them. Give me the jokingly first.
I'm just kidding. So I think they're going to be fine. Granted they added Mike Williams for what it's worth. Still gonna have Garrett Wilson. It's just like, how well is he gonna do? I think he's gonna be all right. I don't think he's gonna be a top 10 quarterback in the league. I don't think he's gonna be the old Aaron Rodgers we saw. I think he's gonna be closer to Kirk Cousins than what he had been throughout his tenure. I think he's gonna be somebody that he's gonna go out there and he's gonna give it the good old 1-2. He's gonna look like Aaron Rodgers of the past, as far as like the look. But I think that it might be some venom that's missing from that snake. I think it's gonna be that he's gonna go out there and it ain't gonna be as much zip on the ball. It ain't gonna be to where it's like him just kind of playing conservatively is gonna do it. He's gonna have to push the ball, especially even though that division isn't hard to basically conquer. I mean, granted, you're gonna have the Bills, you're gonna have the Dolphins, and you're gonna have the Patriots, but it's like they can compete within it with the talent that they have on both sides of the ball. I just think that with him in particular, he may not have enough to hang. But I think he's just not gonna be the MVP caliber dude. I think he's gonna be. I see him throwing for like say 3,500 yards. You know, something modest, something just not as much. I don't see him throwing for anything more than that. I think he's just gonna be all right if he stays healthy for this year.
Okay, now what you saying that the last time he was in Green Bay, 3,600 yards, 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. I feel like if he has that and that Jets defense does work and they can run the ball, they in the playoffs. That's all you need. He doesn't have to score a lot. 26 touchdowns, that's doable. I think that's really doable for him, okay? That's a little less than 2 touchdowns a game for him. And I think that they can run the ball and get in there and get some short stops, play short fields, get shit rolling. And I feel like the Jets could be in there. That's why I picked them.
Okay.
I see them winning off of defense and him being 3,600 yard Aaron Rodgers. I ain't gonna say he going 4,000 with 37 touchdowns like he did the year before that one, but I can see him doing this. 7-yard average. I'm gonna kind of do well with the ball. I'm gonna try not to turn the ball over a lot. Get it downfield. We're gonna make plays. I'm gonna dot. I'm gonna pick it apart. Kind of like the guy who went in for Willie Beam and the old white guy in any given Sunday, okay?
Oh, yeah. I know what I'm saying.
He could throw the ball. He wasn't athletically gifted and everything like Willie Beeman, but guess what? He could go out there and get it done. That's how I feel like Aaron Rodgers is, okay? Yeah. I'm going to go out here. I'm going to pick apart the defense. I'm going to make the right throws. I'm going to make the right reads. We're going to get downfield. We're going to get a few scores. I'm going to put us at least in field goal range if need be, run the ball.
So basically,
the Jets can win this.
So basically, what you're saying is he's gonna be like later in life Ali, where it's like he's not the float like a butterfly, sing like a bee anymore. He's just gonna be a crafty, gonna go out there, gonna play the position. Yeah, okay.
That's
all
all
okay.
You need. That's all
fair.
You need from him.
That's fair.
That's it. That's all you need him to do. That's literally all you need him to do. Hey, come out here, Aaron, do this. Blah, blah, blah. And get it rolling. That's it. Once you get that from him, you can get into the playoffs. And then, to be honest with you, that's more kind of playoff conducive football. Being in range, getting field goals, getting scores, your defense gets stops. We capitalize in the right situations. We keep the ball out of the other team's hands. You're going to need him for that. Man, because why the hell y'all didn't try to pick him up whenever the time was? I don't know. Maybe y'all wasn't thinking right.
Right.
Because he could have definitely had Devontae Adams. But, it is what it is. That's what I think. I think he can have a good year. I really do think he can have a good year. And I feel like that can be a perfect thing for him. And I think the Jets can do well under Aaron Rodgers still. They can get out there, make it happen, get this win.
Yeah.
Now, we just talked about this guy and his team, but I gotta talk about them again because they just that damn good. So, a friend of ours, who actually today is his birthday, shout out to Visky. He actually asked me. He actually said, "Look, who do you think can take the crown from Kansas City?" Okay, now Rob, you told me you have about 6 teams you feel as though can take this from Kansas City. Go ahead and let me know which 6 teams you think can take this from Kansas City.
All right, so team number 1 is a team that I named after the Chiefs, basically when I was making my predictions. The Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to be stellar. They have a lot of talent on that team up and down. Of course, Lamar Jackson, multiple-time MVP. That's number one. Number two, the Texans. The Texans are a great team, an absolutely great team. Great young team, but a great team nonetheless. They got a lot of speedsters within that offense. Got a lot of just talent up and down, like on that defensive side as well. That's another team. The Dolphins, if they can really pull it together, I think talent wise, they could be another one that could basically contend and take down the Chiefs. They just haven't been able to really put it all together. Of course, Tyreek Hill, the former Chief, I mean, he can be somebody that can do it. But yeah, it just depends. Cowboys. Cowboys have a lot of talent up and down that roster as well. They just got to pull it together too. It's really more like for like both the Dolphins and the Cowboys, it's mental. Like they just have to do it. They got the talent to basically take down the Chiefs. They just got to get that mental. The Lions are an absolutely like old man muscle kind of team. Like they got a lot of just overall, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamar Gibbs, fucking Sam Laporta. Like those are all guys that are some of the best at their craft at their position. Jared Goff, I know everybody's not huge on Jared Goff, but I think he's somebody that could really like make things happen. And especially he makes that offense hum, and that's really all you need with an offense as far as having a guy. You don't need always the stellar guy that has all the measurables. Sometimes you just need the motherfucker that can make things happen, and that's what Jared Goff does. Last one is Niners. Niners got all the talent. Everybody know Trent Williams. Everybody know Debo. Everybody know Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey. I know Brock Purdy. He's a good enough quarterback to man that offense. But yeah, no, those teams I can absolutely say, because I think that's 6. Those teams I can absolutely say can beat the Kansas City Chiefs. It's just a matter of when the time comes, when the day comes, they're actually doing it. That'd be the one thing that I would say has to happen. But yeah, no, I think those 6 teams for sure can absolutely beat the Chiefs.
Okay, so I'm gonna eliminate your 2 mental patients right off the back. I'm gonna eliminate Dallas, okay, and I'm gonna eliminate the Dolphins, okay.
That's fair.
And the reason being is Dallas. We look at us. We know that y'all gonna choke and do some Dallas shit until proven otherwise. Okay?
Bring it in, Dallas. Bring it in. I'm with you. I'm here for you. Bring it in.
It ain't me. It ain't me. But I just got a saying for y'all, Dallas. All right. Fish gotta fly, birds gotta swim. Dallas is gonna choke in the playoffs again. That's just what it is, okay? It's that simple, okay? It's been like this for quite some time. I don't make these NFL rules, okay?
Come on in, man.
They just happen to be the laws of nature.
Come on now. Come on, bring it in. Bring it in, Cowboys.
I don't make these rules, okay? Y'all have done this time and time again of choking. Now, maybe you might prove me wrong, You
never know.
But I know 2 things, though. I know that y'all don't win in the playoffs, and that if was a 5th every time they say if Dallas win a Super Bowl, if was that 5th, I'd probably died of a liquor overdose by now. Just my liquor poison would have been in there. Because people constantly say this. Oh yeah, if Dallas win this, Dallas, how great they are. No, still ain't won it. Still haven't won it. I'm just throw that one out there for y'all, okay?
Still love you. You're still I'm still with you. You're my everything. Not really, but just saying. It goes with the song.
Exactly. The teams that I do see that could really be a problem for Kansas City, 49ers. Now, granted, right now, Ricky Purcell, he got shot.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, speedy recovery to you, Ricky.
Absolutely.
That takes away a weapon. Brandon Ayuk did get paid, okay? So, I do see the 49ers very formidable, okay? I see the Ravens very formidable. Derrick Henry, they've done what they can do. The Eagles, to me, the reason that they are a maybe is because of quarterback play. Okay, this year will tell me if Jalen Hurts takes the next step with them getting him so many offensive weapons. Okay, we're going to see. Well, offensive outside of the running back, we're going to see how much more his throwing can be expanded upon. Okay, I feel like he has to cross 4,000 plus yards. Okay, and this would justify bringing in everything else that he got. Okay, to be honest, I really feel like he has to be more in the park, like closer to 4,500 yards. Okay, and that's just my that's just my opinion. Now, outside of those two, the reason I'll limit, I will now outside of those two, I will throw these in there. The Bengals, because they hate Patrick Mahomes. Okay,
Yeah.
It's on record that they hate Patrick Mahomes. Okay, like they won't even say his name because he's like the boogeyman over there.
Voldemort or some shit.
Yeah, he's dangerous over there. And then I can't go 100% on the Bengals, on the Texans, only because they're so young. Okay, and I feel like Mahomes probably holds the mental edge above them. Okay, I feel like whenever you play that Kansas City team, you're not just playing Mahomes, you're playing Andy Reid too. And I think that's what makes it that much worse. Because Andy Reid knows that he can go to him with a change on the spot and he can make it happen. And whenever you're dealing with a two-headed snake like that, I feel like that's the worst thing to have to deal with. Because you got a coach that's a genius and you got a quarterback that is, in my opinion, and I know some of you Patriots fans won't want to hear this, he's better than Tom Brady. Okay? He just is. And I know y'all gonna say, but Tom got 7 rings and everything else. Tom wasn't this guy at the beginning of his career. Tom became that guy on the back half of his career.
Absolutely.
This dude is this guy right now. And we said, whenever we take away Tyreek Hill and he only got one weapon, we're gonna see how good and he won a Super Bowl. And then he had teammates with butter hands, and he won another Super Bowl.
Hasn't had a season where he wasn't in the AFC Championship.
There you go. It's that simple. He's always there. He's always there. Now, for him, it's fish gotta fly, birds gotta swim. Patrick Mahomes is always him again. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
You can't deny him on that.
Man just does it.
Oh, and he gets it done. He gets it done. He figures out how to get it done. But I feel like it's a limited amount of teams who are going to actually be able to compete with him on that level. Texans, I feel like, out of mature. And like I said, the Cowboys are just such a mental case, bro. I don't see them making it. Look, fish gotta fly, birds gotta swim. Cowboys are going to choke in the playoffs again. That's all it is.
Don't mind him.
All it is. Okay?
Don't mind him. I got you.
And you can be mad with me if you want. It just happens that way. It just happens. I don't make the rules. It happens every year.
History is history.
History is history, okay? Look, y'all been trying to rewrite it for a minute. And they always say the victor gets to rewrite history, and y'all keep losing, so there's no pen in your hand to write this.
Yeah.
It just is what it is with that one. Now, moving on. Speaking on Thomas Edward Brady, Rob, how do you think he's going to be as a commentator?
So, as you guys may have heard once or twice, or maybe a few times, Thomas Edward Brady is going to actually be within the Fox booth, getting paid oodles upon oodles of money to basically talk about football. And so, so far, he's had a few appearances, and he seemed pretty nice, like not anything out of the ordinary, but really, fairly polished and everything like that. So I think he's gonna be pretty good as far as like the execution of it. My thing of what I'm thinking is that of I don't know how much he's gonna actually be critical towards quarterbacks, and here's why. Because I think when it comes to Tom Brady and the fact that there hasn't really been anybody in the booth that has been that's been of the stature of a Tom Brady, because like he is the QB god. No matter how much I feel about him, Nate feel about him, you Patriots fans feel about him, or anybody that's outside of basically New England feel about him, he is the QB god. And so I think when it comes to when he has the microphone and they have to ask him, hey, how is Dak doing? How is Deshaun doing? Because he's doing the he's doing the Cowboys Browns game on next Sunday. Like, how is Dak doing? How is Deshaun doing? Granted, both of them, or Deshaun at least got his money, but Dak is about to get his. I don't know how much he's gonna be critical towards Dak, because when Tom Brady is saying these kinds of things, it's going to hold a lot more weight than if it was Greg Olsen, than if it was Tony Romo, than if it was whoever, because it's the voice of God, essentially. And I think that a lot of teams are going to basically look at Tom Brady, as being the voice of God, and basically being like, well, if Tom Brady doesn't like this quarterback, why should I? So if basically they're doing Broncos games and he says something, Knicks, is it going to be to where he's going to be like, okay, maybe I shouldn't say too much about a rookie that, a lot of people are already skeptical, or do I give my actual factual reasoning to like him being bad and say that, hey, this is something for you to grow on? I don't know if he's going to do that, because some people are nuanced enough that they can be like, all right, you said this, I'm going to take it as a constructive criticism, and I'm going to go forth with it. But other people might be like, oh no, he said that, I'm just going with what he said. He said he's shit. I'm just going to believe he's shit. He's never going to stop being shit. So when it comes to like Tom Brady and the stature that he has, and how much people believe in him, and how much people, going to rely on his every word, especially because like we've never had a Michael Jordan be in the booth. We've never had a Wayne Gretzky in the booth. I think that his word is going to mean a lot more when it comes to QB play in particular. Like, when it comes to other stuff, there may be a level of wiggle room where it's like, if he criticizes Saquon Barkley for something, it might be a little bit more wiggle room, because okay, he was never a running back, whatever. But if he basically comments on Jalen Hurts, you're gonna have Philly media basically being like, oh shit, what do we do now? Like he badmouthed our player, he badmouthed our quarterback. So it's going to be interesting to see like what the people's take as far as how Tom Brady is going to be, how that's going to basically be managed. But Tom Brady, he should be fine. He seems like he knows what to do. He seems like he has a good bit of, polish to him. So he'll be fine. But like his words, how will they resonate? Wait to see.
Yeah, it's going to definitely be interesting with him over in Fox. And like we said, he is currently he's holding the crown for the QBs, If you ask me, I say otherwise. But he does have he does have the stats and the championships that people are going to put him as the greatest quarterback ever, and that he's going to be the one out there. And now his words will hold a lot of meaning. And if his words may sting. His words may sting. And I don't know, like you said, I don't know if he's going to criticize quarterbacks the way that they probably should be criticized, or if he's going to ease back and, no, I'm not going to say that, and this, that, and the third. And it's going to be interesting. It will be. I feel like it's going to make things super, super, super interesting for him. And it's one of those things, a wait and see. It's going to be a wait and see to see what happens whenever he says the right thing to the right person. And we'll see how this all like pans out in the end for him. But I do wish him good luck, and I want to see him out there, little chisel jawline and whatnot, speaking speaking upon the things of good old football, it'll definitely be a new taste. Well, it'll be a new twist on what we see. Some of a person of a very high stature in the NFL and has solidified himself in the NFL to see what he has to say now. And definitely. Because I know because we had Shannon Sharp out there at one point, right?
In the booth, no. He's
We
always
didn't
been
have
an
Shannon?
analyst. He's been like a
Okay,
studio
so
analyst.
yeah. But haven't we had Tony? Did we have Tony G out there? Tony Gonzalez? I don't know why I feel like we had Tony G out there at one point.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe.
At one point, I think like he was on the CBS. I know he's made because I know he's been in the studio analyst stuff, but I think he was in the booth for like a minute with CBS, but not like a long time. I might be wrong. I can't remember.
All right, but it will be something interesting to see him out there talking. And hey, hats off to him. Let's see how it all turns out. Now we're gonna shift a little bit away from the NFL because we had to get y'all a lot of NFL because it's NFL preview.
So much damn NFL.
So me and Rob have a PSA for everybody out there, all you baseball fans. Shohei Ohtani better be goddamn MVP, okay? We're gonna ride, okay? We're gonna ride. We're going to ride. Just chairs and everything. Just everything. He better be MVP.
Damn it.
He better be. It ain't no ands, ifs, or buts about it, okay? If you don't think Shohei Ohtani deserves MVP, I kind of want to push you in front of a bus. I'm just saying. He's just that good.
I'll kick you in front of that motherfucker.
Like Rob, you can go ahead because we were talking about it. He's what 44 and 43 or 43 and 43 right now?
Let me look that up real quick. But yeah, he hit a home run last night, and he's the first player to ever hit 43 home runs and get 43 stolen bases in a season. Which I remember seeing somebody say it's 44 and 43 right now. I remember somebody saying like, when he got to 40-40, is like it was the 11th best season of Bonds' career or whatever. You know what? It's still a month to fucking go, and he's got these. He's as near 50-50 as anybody has ever been, and he basically still has the month of September to go. This man is fucking amazing, and the reason why I'm like, I remember because we were talking about this. Like, they said Francisco Lindor should be the MVP because he played in the field, and he has to do that, and he has to play a hard position, and it was mostly Mets fans. So I understand you Mets fans trying to get your hurrahs in, but no, he is not. Francisco Lindor has had a really good season. Has had absolutely a good season. I cannot say that he is not somebody that shouldn't be mentioned within the MVP. But you know what he ain't? Shohei fucking Ohtani that's gotten 44 home runs, 43 stolen bases, hitting 293, got an OPS just below 1, at this point. Like, whereas, Francisco Lindor had like an 813 OPS, even the WAR that accounts for the defense shit. Shohei Ohtani had like a 1, like he's got a 6.9 WAR. I think Francisco Lindor had like a 5.9 WAR. So he had and that basically accounts for just a lot of different stuff within players, playing in a season, like or in a span. So he has 6, yeah. But either way, he has a point above. He's a point more, which is a fairly big gulf. And so basically, no, Shohei Ohtani is the National League MVP. Okay? Like, we've talked about it before. When it comes to, the other side with Aaron Judge, like, you can say, Bobby Witt has basically a chance for the MVP over on that side because of how much he means to Kansas City in that roster, whereas Judge basically has Juan Soto batting in front of him. But Aaron Judge is having a season that's like, you don't even understand it's hard to understand like how well he's done this year. Like hitting 330 as a fucking power hitter, 123 RBIs, 51 home runs. He has an OPS of almost 12, which with a month to go is unfucking believable. This man is the MVP. Like, okay, so OPS plus is because on base plus slugging is OPS for people that don't know what OPS is, and that's really what it's how many times you get on base, how well you're hitting as far as like how many bases you get, so doubles, triples, stuff like that, home runs. It accounts for all those things. So OPS plus is what like 100 OPS plus is average. Guess what Aaron Judge's OPS plus is?
Where is he at?
226. So he's doubling the shit up, dog. Like he is absolutely the best. Basically, I found Shohei is the best player in the league right now. Plays center field, all that. Like he plays out in the field. Like he is the best player in the league, dog. It don't make any sense how good these niggas are. It really don't. They're both gonna win the MVP. It's like this is gonna be Shohei's third and first in the National League.
Yeah, like, I got Judge on AL MVP, and I got Shohei NL MVP.
Yeah,
I understand what people are saying about Lindor, but no. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can understand. Yeah, look, 29 homers. He got 80 RBIs. He's hitting 270. He's just, I understand some people are going to say, but he's playing in the field. But it's like, we may not ever get a chance to see Shohei hit again like this.
No.
Like, literally.
Maybe not anybody.
Because he's not, he is a pitcher. And they're not going to let him go out there and DH like this. They're not. Because they're going to want him. He's going to start there. Whenever he's going to start pitching, they're immediately going to cut back on how many at bats he's taking.
They're going to save his legs, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to save him. But the guy literally 44 home runs, 43 stolen bases, 98 RBIs, which he has more RBIs than Lindy right now. Lindy only has 8. He's going to crack 100 RBIs. He might get another home run or two and another stolen base or two.
It is not there.
You got to give it to him. You got to give it to him. OPS 999, on base percentage like 377. You got to give him some. You got to give him some props, bro.
They got to make up some shit. If he don't get the MVP, make some shit up and figure it out. Like, give him his own award. I don't really give a fuck. You got to credit this man for what he's doing. Absolutely credit him for what he's doing.
Something. Because I feel like he's there. I feel like he's definitely there. And he's definitely my NL MVP along with Judge as the AL MVP. They're too amazing this year in baseball.
Yeah.
Too amazing. Easily. Now, moving on with that, okay? Now, we already know college football kicked off. And there's a matchup that we want to talk about that just passed. NDSU faced Colorado.
Yep.
And people chirped about NDSU all season, okay? What we heard, Rob? Oh, they could do it to Colorado.
Right.
They're gonna be a tough test for Colorado.
My God. How could Colorado schedule this team? They're so difficult. Why do people schedule North Dakota State? Why, like, they only basically play teams tough. They all this shit. Like, Colorado, they did all that shit. Then what happened?
Colorado got the win. And then now all of a sudden it's just a FCS team, okay?
Yep. Oh, how can y'all gloat about beating the FCS team? How can it, like, y'all getting, y'all just want to talk about an FCS team. They just the FC. People, you're better than this. You know you're better than this.
So look, we need y'all to stop moving the goalposts.
Yes.
Okay? Because before this was gonna be a tough matchup, okay? And then it turned into Well, it's not a tough matchup. They're alright, it's this, that, and the third. And it's like, okay, so where are we gonna go with this? Because y'all told us that Dion that this was gonna be a tough matchup. And granted, they were 11-4 last year. Yeah, they were 11-4 last year. North Dakota State, yeah. So you can say, oh, it's Missouri Valley, blah blah blah, but it was still supposed to be a test, okay? And they pulled it off. So why are we moving the goalpost now? Is it because it's Deion Sanders, or is it because we don't want to credit him? What are you thinking, Rob?
And the fucked up thing is they just did this shit last year, bro. Like with TCU, they kept saying TCU, or they were just in the college football playoff. This is a great team. Like Colorado's gonna have a tough schedule, and then they beat the dog shit out of TCU, and then all of a sudden, well, TCU ain't that great. TCU, like, y'all do this shit for whatever reason, and I don't understand it. You can't just be like, oh, look at what Colorado has to face. Look at what Colorado has to go against. Oh, will they be able to stand the test? And then they pass the test, and it's like, well, you can't gloat about passing the test. Like, what the fuck do you want them to do, man? Like, they're happy that they beat the team that you guys said they couldn't beat, or a team that was going to be very difficult for them, and then they get happy about it, or their fans get happy about it, and then you're like, well, why are you guys gloating about beating this team? Because you guys basically said this is a team that probably should beat them. Like, come on, dude. Look, I'm all about, okay, if you're going to be a hater, but don't be a hater and try to cloak yourself up in objectivity. You're not that. Be real about what you are. If you don't fuck with Deion, okay, he's done things where I can understand where you are like that, where you feel that way. I'm good with that. But identify yourself. Don't put yourself as somebody that's basically being objective. It can't be both sides. Sorry. It can't be both sides with this, dog. It just can't be. Be real about what you're going with. Be real about how you feeling about dude. Hold on.
All right.
But yeah, like, just be real about what you're doing, dog. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. And with that being said, we just want y'all to be serious about it. Now, I know Prime wasn't too happy about what happened. And, hey, Prime is going to be Prime, okay? Prime is going to be mad about what's going on.
Yeah.
And I understand why Prime wasn't too happy about it, because he felt like they should have put the brakes to him, and they didn't. But they got the win. So all in all, Deion, even though it wasn't exactly what you wanted, I feel like it was a solid win. A team 11-4. Now, we'll see how y'all pan out for the rest of the year. It could be hit or miss. It could be hit or miss. Now, it's going to be interesting. It is damn sure going to be interesting, because a lot of people are looking at Shedeur and Travis Hunter at being top picks like next year in the draft. And I feel like part of their performances this year is going to hinge upon where people, let them pull out. So with that being said, we'll definitely see where they go. Now, before we get up out of here, Rob had one more thing that he kind of wanted to say, and I think this is kind of towards the NFL.
Yeah, and it's really just a warning, and I'm not saying a warning because there ain't no threat from me, but I think that when it comes to the NFL, like, y'all spreading y'all dope too little thin, y'all stepping on a little bit too much. Not saying I am not within that field as far as, not even using the fucking terms right, probably. But look, y'all spreading yourselves too thin, basically, because y'all got the Ravens playing 3 games in like 10 days. Like, it's legit like 10 days, like 10 calendar days. Like, it's y'all gotta basically look at what y'all doing with adding these different games, with trying to take up every single day on the sports calendar. Y'all not the NBA. Y'all can't just play games every single day. Like, y'all got players that basically are, they're spread too thin. And so I would say, before you guys fuck up your own selves Even though y'all getting money, y'all know the cost of the brick goes up every year because of it. But like, yeah, just please be wary about what y'all doing. And y'all gotta fucking stop before y'all basically kill one of these motherfuckers. Right? Because this is a lot. You know, they going across countries. They ain't like they ain't a 3-game homestand that the Ravens are doing. Like they gotta go different places and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's just pretty fucked up. So I would say
very quick turnaround.
NFL. Yeah, just be wary what you're doing.
Ease back just a little bit.
Ease
back just a little
bit.
Now, with that being said, me and Rob are going to go ahead and get up out of here. But before we do, I got to remind you guys, remember, like, subscribe, share, tell your people about us. And also with that, don't forget that we do have a little sponsorship, a partnership with W. Go ahead, don't forget us, dubby.gg. Go ahead and grab yourself a W. They got energy packs. They got hydration. Great for your energy. Get you up, get you going. Remember, Bruh Migos Pod, 10% off. Actually, during the month of September, because we got a notification, it's going to be 20% off just for the month of September. So even though it'll say 10, I'm going to remind you guys for the month of September, you're going to actually get 20% off, okay? Your code this month. So that's from W. They're giving that to us to give to you guys.
I'm just gonna give me some right now.
Anything else before we get up out of here, Rob?
Man, good night, Taylor Swift. Good night, Canada. Man, let me go give me some W. Shoot, like if they gonna give me, like, let me add a little bit more, cause it's good. Like that hydration pack, I can't stress it enough. Like that shit is good.
Get you right.
It gets you right. And it's tasty.
Right.
You know, gives you enough energy. Like, yeah, matter of fact, yeah, let me get some of these. So yeah, y'all do what y'all gotta do. I'm about to go give me some W, all right? Like,
yeah. And with that being said, we're out of here, Bro Migos Podcast. Much love. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Deuces.
Thanks for checking out this episode of the Bro Migos Podcast. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.